This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. This is why we review film. This is why we remain critical of the team. This is why we talk about the X's and O's. Because if you stayed locked into the channel this week, I feel like you were rewarded by this game, because a lot of what we talked about were the things that were addressed this week. See, sometimes when it comes time to be critical of the team, there's people who go over the top, or there's people who refuse to hear anything bad. But the truth is that you need the truth. Right? And what the Browns needed after Monday night was a truth bomb. What went wrong? A lot of people wanted to point the finger at Kevin. I did the blame pie on Twitter. I think Kevin was responsible for maybe 6 play call failures. Like where I'm like, hey, he didn't have him in the right thing. That wasn't a good call there. Like about 6 of them. Deshaun was responsible for like 45% of all the play failures. And the reason Deshaun was responsible for 45% of the play failures on Monday night was one simple factor. He did not trust the offense. He did not trust his pre-snap reads. He did not trust himself to know a throw is going to be open. He had to wait and see if it's open. And in college football, that's fine. You can see it open and throw it. In the NFL, you got to trust that your study is impeccable, so that when you see what you think you see, you let it rip before it even happens, and the ball's there so you can make the play. That's how it is in the NFL. That's how you get it done in the NFL. Today, we saw more of that from Deshaun Watson. We saw him trust the offense. We saw him take what was there. In Monday night's game, it felt like Deshaun was seeing if something big opened up. And if that didn't open up, I'm going to run. That seemed like the progressions. Today, you notice he stayed in the pocket. He stayed calm and cool. There was the one play which might go down as one of the goofiest plays I've ever seen in my life, where he decided to just toss the ball backwards. But to give him credit, and again, I said this before on the Nick Chubb video, it's not about the mistakes you make in the moment. It's not about the bad day you have. It's not about the bad game. It's not about the bad play. It's about how you respond to that bad play that defines you. Everybody has a bad play. Everybody has a bad moment. Everybody has a bad game. Everybody has one bad equivalent to a bad game, a bad day of work, a bad day of poker, whatever it is not what defines you. What defines you is how you respond to that bad day. For this Cleveland Browns football team, the bad day against Pittsburgh on Monday night, that does not define you. What defines this football team is how they show up on Sunday and how they continue to show up for the rest of the year. Today, they let them know, we know punks. We're not just going to fold. The season isn't over. I know we don't have Nick Chubb, but we still got guys on offense that can move this football. We still got dudes. We still are a very good football team. I talked about this too earlier this week. I felt like people forgot. You know this defense is top 3, right? You know this run game is still really good, right? Why are we so worried? Deshaun didn't play well? Okay. Well, he can play better. He's going to play better than that. You're going to win games. Where I felt the best about the game that Deshaun had was the trust that he had, especially when he was working outside the numbers. It seems like that part of his game is back. Right? The accuracy, the touch on the ball, the timing on it, the when he sees it and gets the ball out, all of that's there. By the way, Randall Moore just scored a touchdown, and I did not start him. If you've been following my fantasy football failures, I didn't start Devin Deshaun. I didn't start Randall Moore, and I suck at fantasy football. But that point out the way, What you want to see Deshaun Watson do was trust the offense, take what's there, play in structure, and trust himself to make those special throws that only a $230 million man can make. And you saw throws today that were special. That throw to Amari Cooper that should have been his third touchdown, that throw, incredible throw. Gets there, Coop doesn't even have to move for it. They make a boneheaded call from the referees, the stupid call there, but beautiful. And I mean beautiful football. You can't throw it any better than that. That ball to Donovan Peoples-Jones on the third down that just right in the bucket, can't throw a more pretty football than that. Can't put it better. He didn't have to move. That's the old Deshaun Watson. That's the 2020 Deshaun Watson. Now, we need to see this consistently in the middle of the field, and we need to see this consistently, period. But the fact is that we have, since March of 2022, we have waited for this game from Deshaun Watson. This is the game that we've been waiting to see. This is the game that we've been thinking of every time Deshaun Watson goes out there that he's going to finally have. And we have grown impatient and we have grown frustrated with the fact that it's been 8 games. It's been a year and a half. We ain't seen that game. And we needed to see it. And boy, oh boy, did we get it. He makes the one mistake. They recover from it. He comes back, makes his best throw of the day. Then comes back, plays his best football of the day. It's not the bad days you have that defines you. It's how you respond to them. It's how you carry on. It's the consistency that defines you. If this team can be consistent defensively and offensively, they're going to be one of the best football teams in the AFC. This is the best defense in the AFC. Now, again, you haven't played any world beaters on offense. Oh, I know this, right? Even the one good offensive team you played, they struggled early on and you played them in a rainstorm. Yeah. Whatever excuse we had to throw out there, we could throw out there. But the fact is that this is the NFL. This ain't college football. We ain't play Rutgers, a FCS team, and like Tulane. Tulane's actually good this year. Let me not disrespect them. We ain't play Rutgers, Louisiana Monroe, in Michigan State, whoever sucks in the Big Ten this year. We ain't played no bums. You know what I mean? We played NFL teams. And the fact is to have the domination on defense, that this defense has demonstrated through 3 weeks of football. I'm sorry, that's not a mirage. This at the very least is a top 5 defense. This at the very least is the best defense in the AFC. And quite honestly, it might be the best defense in football. Maybe San Francisco's in that conversation, but it might be the best defense in football. Point blank, period. Might be the best. Maybe Dallas is in the conversation, but they're letting Josh Dobbs go off on them right now. That don't ever happen to us. So best defense. Might be the best defense in football. Myles Garrett, best defensive player in the universe. I don't want to hear anything else. I'm tired of the weird amount of Cleveland Browns fans that like love to ride for TJ Watt. I understand if you connect with TJ Watt. I understand if you just like TJ Watt more as a person or whatever it is. Cool, do you? But don't sit here and lie to me and act like he's a better football player than Myles Garrett, because you know who doesn't believe that? You know who absolutely does not think TJ Watt is a better football player than Myles Garrett? NFL offensive line coaches. Because you never see offensive line coaches scramble for a solution to stop Myles Garrett. Well, like they do for Myles Garrett for anybody else in the NFL. They don't do that for Micah Parsons. They don't do that for TJ Watt. They treat them like regular good football players. They treat Myles Garrett as if he is Thanos. Like, good God, we got nothing. You know what they did to Myles Garrett today? You know what the Titans offensive line coach and offensive coordinator decided that they felt was necessary to do to Myles Garrett today? They brought 2 tight ends out to double team Myles Garrett on top of the offensive lineman that he would naturally play. And they told those 2 tight ends, I don't care where Myles lines up, go there. Myles Garrett runs to the right side of the field, they follow him. Myles Garrett runs to the left side of the field, they follow him. I thought Myles Garrett was a wide receiver in motion the way that they were following him. I ain't never seen a team do that. for anybody. They did it for Myles because Myles Garrett terrifies offensive line coaches. He terrifies offensive lines. He terrifies offensive coordinators. And you know what happened? They ran that. They called timeout. They just said, hey, we're gonna double team Myles. And guess what? It didn't matter. Myles got a sack on that next play. He's the best football player. He's the best defensive football player in the universe. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't care if he's not defensive player of the year this year. We know he's the best defensive player of the year. We know that that's what the people who are paid to stop Myles Garrett, paid to stop TJ Ward, paid to stop Micah Parsons. All those people feel like Myles Garrett is the better player. You can tell how they treat him. They don't treat those players like they treat Myles. They don't have the same fear with those players that they have with Myles. And I'm not saying they don't have a healthy amount of fear with those guys, but they are terrified of Myles. They are just afraid of TJ Watt. It's a difference. It's a difference. But Myles wasn't the only one that had a good game today. Maurice Hurst has been an absolute dog through 3 weeks. Give him his flowers. He's been balling. On the defensive line, Alex Wright, somebody I wasn't high on, balling through 3 weeks. Give him his flowers. I thought that Okoronkwo had a good game. I thought that Zadarius Smith had an all right game. I thought that Dalvin Tomlinson was all right. But these linebackers, they're great. Derrick Henry had 11 carries for 20 yards. Let me say it again, man. Derrick Henry, the king, right? This is the best running back in the NFL since Myles Garrett is hurt. I mean, not Myles Garrett. Nick Chubb is hurt. Knock on wood. Hope Myles Garrett doesn't get hurt. Since Nick Chubb is hurt. The best running back in the NFL got held to 11 carries, 20 yards by the best defense in football. Had Derrick Henry in hell. There's no other way to describe it. They had Derrick Henry in hell. Derrick Henry was on the sidelines praying, please get him off me. I don't want to see Grant Delpit again. I don't want to see Jordan Elliott again. Please, y'all, stop it. Leave me alone, defense. I can't take it no more. Give these reps to Tajay. And then Tajay was like, dog, I can't do nothing with this either. Dominated. Absolutely. You know you got dominated when it's the fourth quarter, you're up 20 and you still can't run the football. I mean, when it's the fourth quarter, you're down 20 and you still can't run the football. All the defense has to worry about is you throwing the ball. They running like 5-man boxes. You still can't run it. You still can't get nothing. Nightmare. They don't ever want to see another orange helmet again in their lives. That's what I'm talking about. That front seven, Grant Delpit included, he's in that linebacker room too. In that safety room too. Dominant. Dogs. Absolute killers. Derrick Henry. 11 rushes. 20 yards. I hope you didn't start him in fantasy football this week. It was a bad decision. I'm not one to talk. Defense is dominant. Secondary, only thing they could get on this Browns secondary was like capitalize on a couple mistakes from the rookie Cam Mitchell, who was playing for Greg Newsome because Greg Newsome was out today. All right, you got that. And maybe a couple 50-50 balls to DeAndre Hopkins, but nothing consistent. They couldn't get nothing going. I believe Ryan Tannehill had 125 yards? Didn't matter. They had 3 first downs in that game. Didn't matter. 1 red zone drive, and then they got stopped. Myles Garrett at the end of this half set the tone for the rest of this game, by the way. Right? Because at this point, it was a pretty close game, and it was a game that could have went either way, but the Browns were in control of it. But then the Titans get the Titans get this drive. They get all the way to the red zone. They have an opportunity to definitely get a field goal. It's 3rd down. They go to run a play. Myles Garrett, before Ryan Tannehill can think, sacks him. Ends the half. Half's over. Can't kick a field goal. Can't do anything. Didn't even attempt it. Saved 3 points. Set the tone. Came back out, got him off the field, forced the punt. I would say that this Browns defense, they are making sure that your punter gets their money's worth, right? If you come and play the Browns defense, your punter's going to make his money that day. Because you look at the thing, it's punt, 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 punt. That's what this Browns defense is. Third down gangsters. They third down. You know how often we just expected third down to be a mess for this team during the Joe Woods era? Third down and 2, didn't matter. Third down and 5, didn't matter. We was going to give it up. Third down and 28. Oh, we knew we was giving that up. You know what I mean? Like the longer the third down, baby, the more we knew we was giving that shit up because we knew what it was with the Joe Woods defense. Like we prayed to God they didn't have to throw the ball or run the ball. We was just hoping that they get like 5 penalties and then get a grounding and maybe we get off the field on third down because it wasn't a damn thing this defense was going to do about it last year, the year before that. We were terrible with third down. It's crazy. When the Browns force a 3rd and 1, I get excited because I'm like, we gonna stop them on this 3rd and 1, dog. Like, that's the expectation on 3rd and 1. It's automatic on like 3rd and 8, dog. Like, you're not getting no 3rd and 8. Get out of here, Ryan Tannehill. With no 3rd and 8. Like, you got like 2 of them the whole game. Stop it. Stop it. There's no holes in this defense, man. They're really good. Eventually, some teams going to have a good day throwing the ball because, like, they're going to win in man coverage. But, like, who cares? This defense is really good. We know it's really good. Everybody knows it's really good. It's really good. Offense, they ran the ball. I thought that was my one complaint about Kevin Stefanski today. I felt like Kevin Stefanski overthought the run game today. He tried to do all this stuff with motioning Elijah Moore out. He tried to do all this stuff with getting the ball and running it with Deshaun and all that. I thought he overthought it. I think Jerome Ford's nice. Let him run the ball more. Give him the same plays you ran with Nick Chubb. I think he could play. I think he could break him. I think he has nice acceleration, nice burst. The straight up run plays with Jerome Ford, I felt like went well. When they tried to get like crazy with it, it didn't go well. Just let Jerome Ford be Jerome Ford. He's a good running back. Trust him. Maybe they learned that this week. But I thought Jerome Ford played well. 2 touchdowns on the day, receiving and a rushing touchdown. It's not going to be the most impressive yard numbers that you see, but he got the job done. Kareem Hunt was fine too in relief. And I thought Pierre Strong was pretty good too in relief. So I like that 3-headed monster. Look, you're not going to replace Nick Chubb with 1 person. You're not going to replace him with 2. It's going to be a committee. It's going to be him, Deshaun, some of Elijah Moore. All of that's going to be what you do to complete the running game without him, but you can do it. You can definitely do it. You can still have a good run team without Nick Chubb. It's just going to take a little bit more work to get it done there. But I think Jerome Ford might live up to being a featured back. I really do. He was disrespected all offseason. Everybody's scared to death if there's an injury to Nick Chubb. Who fills in? We got to get a starter off the street. Nah, I think Jerome Ford can be a starting quality running back. I'm a put my chips down on that. We'll see what that ends up being, but I think he can be a starting quality running back. And I hope Kevin trusts that as time goes on. I know he had the fumble in the first game, but I think he's going to be fine there. Elijah Moore had a fumble too, so that's no reason not to trust anybody. This was what you want to see. I think you'll start to see more of that, of David Njoku having an impact in the game once Deshaun gets to the level of trust that he has on the outside of the numbers with the inside of the numbers. That's when you'll start to see more from David. But overall, an excellent game. I'm going to go through my notes real quick to make sure that I didn't forget a single thing. I want to make sure everybody gets their love because every time I do one of these videos, there's somebody I forget. Somebody brings it up in the comment section and I'm like, damn. I feel really bad that I missed that out in the video, right? I didn't give this person the look. We already talked about the crazy play. Then after that, Cam Mitchell looked a little lost. I talked about that, but the defense is nasty, so you could get over one player looking a little lost every once in a while. Hopefully Greg Newsome comes back, and I think that'll be that. I mean, once Greg Newsome comes back, I mean, there's no weakness. And the run defense gets better. And that's the thing, man. They were this good defending. They were this good defending the run, and Greg Newsome wasn't even there at slot. They can be better. they can be so much better. This is such a good tackling defense. Like, that's the thing that separates them, right? Because there are opportunities where if they miss tackles, they're going to give up these big plays, but they tackle so well. Such a difference from last year. They were terrible tackling the football last year. Myles Garrett got them chasing him. Kevin overthought some of the run game. Alex Wright, really good. Maurice Hurst, Deshaun Watson instruction. We hit all the notes that I wanted to hit with my game notes. That's my thoughts on this game, man. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Was this a big relief for you, or are you still a little bit worried after Monday night? Or did this game completely alleviate everything that you had concerns about? Are you excited again? Are you ready to moonwalk to Las Vegas? Let me know in the comment section below. Y'all have a great day. Have a good one.